Hello and good greetings again, Magic players. Welcome to another episode of Draw Go. Today, we're going to get into the thick of things. We're going to be making a whole bunch of slivers. Yesterday, or the last time, we made only one sliver. That was because I kind of wanted to introduce the concept of Drago, talk about my process and things. And today we're mostly going to be just looking at some of the arts, kind of going into my finer process of choosing what kind of things for which, how flavor and function kind of battle and win out with one another, and then, shouldn't be too much of an issue. Who knows, there might be more fast forwarding, there might be less. But I want to start off with, like I was saying the other time, we were looking at the kind of different borders of stuff. And today I kind of want to mostly focus on doing old bordered cards. As although most of Slivers have either been printed in the modern border or have a updated version of them, like for example, I'm not entirely sure why, but sometimes Scryfall only shows the oldest versions of the cards, and sometimes it shows the newest versions of the cards, like with this Spine Sliver and the Spectral Sliver. Spectral Sliver I know came in the Premium Deck series Slivers, and maybe it just doesn't show the premium versions of the cards. Not fully sure. Sometimes it shows the inventions or the what are they called? From like Kaladesh and from Zendikar and things like that. And sometimes it really likes the Tempest remastered ones, for example. I haven't gotten precisely with Dakota on it, but like with whether he wants like the premium series ones or if he wants the old ones, so we'll leave those for later. But for example, the Shifting Sliver, which is kind of ridiculous, especially in Commander, only has shown up in Legions, so we only ever get to see the bloke here. What makes this guy ludicrous is, I'm sure, gosh dang it, I'm bad at this game. It's a hard game and it's a hard concept. Gosh dang it. Okay. What makes this guy ridiculous is, you can see, other Slivers can't block this guy. So he's kind of, or only Slivers can block him and all your Slivers. But most people in Commander don't play any Slivers. So this guy is just unblockable. Hooray for that nonsense. But what makes things like that a little bit difficult. So this is some good art swimming around in the water. Kind of reminds me of the tattoos that Merfolk or Core had in this set. Looks very nice. But and this is one thing that they've sort of moved away from, but you could see more in older art, is that they were a fan of just kind of like blank backgrounds. It's interesting. A lot of like Rebels had it, a lot of like these Slivers sort of had it, where you just, there's nothing there. And recently, well, not recently, but they've added like lots of good, like this one has it, but they also now give them like landscapes to live and breathe in, but they weren't always as big of a fan of that. And it's one thing that I particularly like when fan artists do, but beggars certainly can't be choosers, and I'm glad that we just live in a time when we can have all of these arts and whatnot. So, like I was saying last time, with the older art, I like to use more hand-drawn or pencil drawing or kind of the flatter toned arts for those. So, do I have a duplicate? No, I don't. it's hard to tell. There's a lot of similarly colored gems. Like there's a half dozen blue ones, it feels like, and all these different red ones and whatnot. Anyways, so we'll want to match color and tone. So this one or this one would be very good choices. Mayhaps this lapis. Yeah. So unblockable, kind of a tricksy kind of ability. Not terribly feeling that one. Alexandrite. Now that is one of my favorite gems in general. Not just in this show and not just in Steven Universe either, but like as an actual rock. This is one of my favorites. I've never understood the appeal of diamonds, as they just look like glass. And glass also lasts basically forever, especially if you're getting it diamond size. That thing's not going to crack or chip terribly easily. So why bother with a particularly hard clear rock when you can get something gorgeous like an alexandrite? Let's go with this one. I like its themes. I like her mischievous face. I think it'll fit very well with the unblockability of Slivers. Because, again, we're not going to be able to find anything that looks exactly like a sliver. They're one of Magic's most unique and interesting creatures. So why bother? Why try when you're just going to fail? Maybe that's a little fatalistic of me, but this deck is important to have just the gems basically be represented here. Okay, there we go. We're peeking on through. So we're probably going to do a similar thing to what we did with the other sliver, and I'll show you how we did that. So we want to take this little background and, well, I guess it's the background layer, but it's in the foreground now. We want to take the text box and put it on another layer. That way we don't mess anything up too badly. It just lets us manipulate things without using the undo button so often, which, you know, it's fine to spam the undo button, but it gets a little tedious. Alright, so now we take this little box right here. I am noticing there is a bit of a indentation. I've never seen that before. I usually don't work on old text boxes, nor do I usually work on blue cards. Most of my cards are white and red and green. I'm big Naya fan, but not a huge fan of like blue and control and things like that. It's powerful and it's great in like limited and standard and modern and formats like that. I just really am not a fan of it in EDH. Being the fun police is, well, not fun. People don't like having their spells countered, especially when they cost like 30 mana, and you just come in there and you're like, nope. But doesn't mean that it's necessarily. Here we go. Okay. Oh dang. It's like it didn't do anything. It's because we're on the wrong layer. There we go. And then we just take this little boy. And you want to get some of the little downward angle deal up in this little highlight. That way when we move it down, it will be able to copy that. Now, white was really nice for this because, oh, that looks real good, especially right here. I mean, it's not perfect, but dang, that's a lot better. And white was really nice, like I was saying, because its boxes are pretty uniform. Blue here we can see they got some nonsense going on. All this beautiful swirls and designs. So we're going to try and not make it look like trash. But no promises, because this is somewhat ridiculous. Actually, let's put this on a new layer. That way we can delete and move things around and just make it look nice and pretty. So you want the seams to be about as uniform as they can. And doing pixel perfect measurements, difficult in speedruns and stuff, but necessary. A lot easier on this one because we can just zoom right in. So we'll just delete chunks of this. Oh, that lines up actually pretty good. We'll try that. Oh, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Doesn't even look that absurd. It's a little loop repetitive, but it blends in very well, and if you never knew what a old magic card looked like, you'd never know that this was done over like this. Now the other side, that's going to be a tad bit more difficult because its patterns align vertically and not... Sorry, reverse that. Its patterns align horizontally and not vertically. If it was vertical, just like the other side, well, you saw how clean that snapped off was. Alright, here. Boop. Lovely. Oof. Babies. Yeah, we're probably just going to cut it to the next line. That's okay. It looks... Yeah, that looks good. So instead of trying to match up those, I just went and I cut off where the next thing was. That way it looks nice. And bob bing bob boom. It was pretty easy. Got ourselves a shifting sliver. Alright, and the work goes on. So we got blue slivers pulled up. We got old slivers or blue gems pulled up, old slivers on the mine. So let's keep making some old slivers, shall we? Come on, friend. My little brother taught me that you can click in on the scroll wheel and that'll open it up in a new tab. I know that's probably a really basic thing, but I never knew that. And sometimes my little mouse doesn't actually like to do that. So I just struggle and sit there clicking the mouse and nothing ever happens. No good, kind of a waste of time, but okay. So we'll use this nice little Alexandrite so we don't have to worry about that no more. What do we got here? I just kind of opened it up. Synapse sliver. Oh. What? Whoa. Okay, what a boy. I've never seen this one get played before. Kind of amazing. Yeah, that makes Blasphemous Act either really good or really bad. You could just kill yourself. Draw 13 cards for each sliver you control. Probably gonna die, actually. Never mind. Oh man, she's got a cheeky face in that one, though. That one feels right. This white one, though, that one feels pretty good, too. Turquoise. All these good... man. This artist really did a great job. Drawing all of these ones. You got really nice facial expressions. I love the bodies. They look nice and fluid. It's almost like they're... it's almost like they're water. But, bam, saved. Jeez. Even though they're solid as rock, but brittle as glass. I was watching some of it yesterday. I want to read the manga much more than I want to watch the anime, because I can listen to music and do other things and not just be focused in on one deal. Because when you watch something, you don't want to have it. Yep. Exactly. Is it an ad? It is an ad, okay. It's really hard to tell on Pinterest what's an ad, because you can save ads, and I feel like that's kind of wrong. It's a little ridiculous, if anything else. Let's go with... This one feels good. I like her face. It's either... or... that one feels more like a shroud sliver or something like that. So let's grab whatever. Oh dear. Let's go with this one. Alright. Pull this down. Paste it over, gotta line that up with the text box, just about, lovely. And you may have noticed that each of these have little watermarks on them. I can go through and remove the watermarks, it's kind of a painstaking process, but Dakota doesn't want them removed, he actually likes the way they look, so I'm going to leave them in. On other arts that we do, I'll show you how to get rid of those. Not because I don't love the artists. I absolutely adore fan art and how people express themselves and find these things that just really let them, feel and be who they want to be. They can find a show, love the characters, and then actually go in and create their own kind of worlds inside worlds that other people have created. And I think that's beautiful. And I think that they should entirely get credit for what they do. And that's why I'm going to start. I don't do it so much with my own projects, but now that I'm starting to go online, check the descriptions. I have links to all the artists like Tumblrs and Twitters and Patreons and whatnot. I don't need the support so much. These guys are the real MVPs. Without them, I couldn't do anything that I do, and the world would be less rich, it would be less interesting, it'd be a lot less cool, that's for certain. But I do think that watermarks on Magic cards do look really bad. It's not the feel that we want to capture. That was the wrong one. We want things to look like a real Magic card as much as possible, even though they're clearly not real Magic cards. Oh, I forgot to remove the art. That's the first thing that you gotta do, and I was moving along as though I hadn't. Or as though I had. Oh gosh. I say, Magic is hard. This is hard. Ah, jeez. I'm just screwing up all over the place. Get that out of there. Zoom it out, pull it up. Zoom it in. Alright. Get rid of that. Bam, there she is. Wherever the cuss this thing is. Penetrate, sure. I do not pretend to know not only each of these creatures, but anything about the show. Nothing too much about it anyways. It takes me forever to learn the characters in a movie, TV show, anything like that. Not wholly sure why, but it never sticks in my brain super easily. There we go. That looks nice. I usually grab more of that to let me know where I need to be, but mistakes have been made, and that's okay. Like Bob Ross says, we don't make mistakes, just happy accidents. It's a little corny and perhaps a little bit too optimistic about things, but hey, if it got him through the day, then who am I to take that away from him? Alright. That looks nice. Now we'll just come over here, because we've already done this layer, copy this, and it should be about the same. Because, you know, the cards aren't terribly different. That was the wrong thing to do. New layers. I pretend to be a professional, but I'm certainly still an amateur. Alright, so we want to move these up. I have a hard time lining up these little pin lines. Boop, boop. Oh, that's weird. Are they jacked up here too? No. That's really weird. Tried to save some time, but I might have lost that point entirely. This one in particular seems to be a couple of pixels off, which is weird because usually Scryfall has everything just... Oh. Interesting. Is this the same case over? Interesting. So this one's lines are a little bit thicker. Interesting. Okay, cool. Now I know not to do that in the future. So we'll just get rid of this little layer, add another one, and do it the actual way that I usually do. Interesting. Learn something new about Magic cards every day. Apparently the scans for these cards, their actual little things were a little bit off. There we go. We'll just get rid of that. Ah, lovely. Their actual pin lines were different from one another, so that made it like kind of bit difficult. Dang, of course I did. Layers. They're your friends, but can also fight against you, like real friends. Oh, typically they don't fight against you. Oh, it is relatively common to get into disagreements and such with people. I don't know, am I feeling anything from... Yeah, we'll just... That looks nice. Windows. Actually, does it look nice? I really don't like how jagged it is. Let's come down to here and see how that looks. There we go. I like that a lot better. Okay, cool. And there we go. There's another one. What was this thing called? Bam! There goes another one. And another one. And another one. And another one bites the dust. Alright. Toxin Sliver. Let's go with a black art. Why not? Those are harder to find anyways. So might as well show you the difficulty. Because people in general like drawing happy things, believe it or not. Even in a apparently terribly depressing show like Land of Illustrious, most of these characters fall into the non-black spectrum. Even like some of the darker arts I wouldn't necessarily attribute to black cards. Because black cards are usually like rotting or like even a thing like this. This is as close as we get, and even this one feels like it would be better put on a blue card, like something that destroys a permanent or returns it to the hand, rather than just a regular creature. Which is another thing that's really interesting about this collection of cards. Because the Sliver deck is entirely made up of Slivers, that way he can take highest advantage of the first Sliver's triggered ability. Or, yeah, is Cascade triggered? We'll go with triggered ability. There are 0 instants and sorceries, which makes things a little bit more difficult. Oh man, I love the feeling of old Magic cards. I was just double checking. These are from the same set. Friend, that's incredible. It just felt so much more fantasy back in the day. Never got to play too much old Magic, but I used to go around and buy Magic collections. Not full-on collections. Usually they were selling smaller things, but things like that, little collections, stuff people had lying around. I got some really cool stuff actually. The best card I ever found was a tropical island. Oh my gosh. But these old Magic cards just exude flavor. I mean, look at the difference. The blue ones feel like they're fluid on the outside but rigid on the inside. They have like a law to them. And this text box, I haven't ever done a black text box before, so we're going to get to experiment a little bit here, whether or not just removing the thing is best or whatnot. But golly, this is some intense, like, it's like this old faded scroll. Oh my gosh, absolutely gorgeous. So, and it's like uneven everywhere. Oh gosh, I hate to sound like a old Magic player who just complains about things on the internet, but boy, we do not get stuff like this anymore. Except for, I guess the average card isn't like this anymore, which I guess is okay. Having a uniformity to your game is wonderful and probably should be commended, but golly, I really like the inventions. Oh, that's so close to being so perfect. Oh gosh, yes. There we go. Preserved easily. Look at that box. So we just deleted it, cropped it out, and moved it down. Excellent. Excellent. So now we're looking for black kind of art, so we can just exit out of these. I know there's an obsidian, so that should be fine. Did I pass them? I think I did, because I scrolled up to... No, I didn't, yeah. It unloaded them. Sad day. I know there's obsidian, and there's a couple of black gems, wherever the cuss this thing is. There's a little obsidian. I don't know who this is either. Come on, friend. There we go. Oh man, I wish they did more multicolor stuff back in the day. Multicolor stuff in Magic is my favorite thing, and we are absolutely spoiled with how many gold cards that we get. You usually get at least 10 per set, if not more. But they used to be so sparing in them that we nearly never got them. What's this one do again? Wow, Death Touch Sliver. Okay, so we want something that feels... Oh my gosh, all these ones have their little weapons in them. Oh, they just look so good. Port? Never heard of that gem before, but it looks nice. I'll look that up later. Oh. What are our other black slivers? We have... Well, Dreadscape, but we won't have to worry about that one. Crypt Sliver. I want Crypt Sliver to have this art, so I'll use this guy right here. No, did that wrong. Okay. Obsidian. Oh. Gorgeous all around. Blacks is a little bit easier. It's much more forgiving. They're just bubbles. So long as you have full bubbles, you should be fine. Greens is a little bit obnoxious as well. I've done stuff with green more than I have with black. Oh, done in one. Computer took care of the whole thing for me. Gosh dang. This is honestly really nice. I really like how this came out. And just so you know, Dakota was super satisfied with the what did we do last time? With the Sliver Overlord, I think we did last time. He really loved how that came out. He was very impressed. And that's what I seek for the most. I want to make the person who's suggesting things super happy. So if you guys ever suggest anything and we get on to doing those, then I would love your feedback. Oh gosh, black cards are easy. I was thinking they would be super hard because of that text box and because of the bubbles, but dang. If you want one to just begin with, I guess start with old black cards. Like if you want to do a sick Lord of the Pit, oh my gosh. I bet you could make something amazing out of that. Just absolutely nuts. Going ham on the phones. Alright. Get rid of that little art. Pull this guy down. Do that again. It was oddly satisfying to do that. So we'll just get rid of this. Even though we probably don't need to. I'd like to, just so I know where I need to end up. So if we don't know where we started, it's hard to know where we need to end. Yeah, we gotta bring that down a lot. Alright. Just grab this boy. Lovely job. Pull that out. In like it's hot. Oh my gosh. Oh, That looks good. Oh, that looks better. Except for there, it looks tricky. Yeah. Oop. Pull this little guy up a bit. Oh, there. You know what? This is giving us trouble. So what we'll do is come over here. Copy this. Or cut this would be more appropriate. And then we'll add it to a new layer behind that one. Or in front of that one. Is that what I want? Oh. None of those solve our problem. That's interesting. Oh, I think I know why, because I probably cut this from the wrong layer. Whoops. Okay. No, I didn't. Maybe I did? I did. There we go. Oh, we don't even need to paste that boy back in. There we go. Awesome. Delicious. That's the spice we're looking for. Add a new layer, pull it all the way down. Grab our little bubbly boys. And away we go. Nope. Away we go. Yeah, one of these tries is the charm. Boop. Beavis. Sweet. Saucy mama, there it is. And grab that full bubble. Come on down. C. B. Interesting. I guess that makes sense. Maybe we want this on top, actually. No, their layerings are weird. Yeah, we'll just cover that biggest bubble up. Make sure our pixels are perfectly in place. Again, you might not even notice it on the full card, but it makes me upset to know that there's imperfections in these. So, you know, try to do our best, clean everything up. It's the difference between a basic kind of art replacement, essentially, and this level of stuff. Because anyone can download Magic Set Editor and make their... Anyone can download Magic Set Editor. I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind over how good this person is at drawing. Absolutely beautiful, flowing hair. I love it, and that sword is so cool. Anyone can download Magic Set Editor and just fill in all the arts that they want. But actually going in and editing the cards and tweaking things around, that's the difference. Spending the time to find the right fan arts and matching them up with the cards, that's a difference. It really takes it from... did we not save the other one? I don't think we did. Takes it from just doing like basic stuff to doing next level things, and that's where I want to be. I know not everyone has the time or the energy to do it, so again, if you want some help, I'm more than willing to be here with you guys, keep working through these cards and whatnot. I am not looking forward to Frenzy Sliver or Homing Sliver. Gosh dang, there's Merrick Sliver. Those are all going to be challenging because I have never ever worked with a future shifted card before, and this thing, like, it already has its own transparencies. But we'll experiment with it together, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll get through it. Well, you know, we'll get through it. It will be okay. It will be an adventure, and we'll be better in the end for it. Hopefully, anyways. Oh, there's another black sliver. How wonderful. And I think that's all the old school slivers, except for the couple that, or is Talon Sliver? Talon Sliver feels weird enough that it might only be old school. Ward Sliver is 100% only old school. Yeah, look at that. I love the art on Talon Sliver. I think it looks cool, comic booky, just kind of pops. Alright, let's get ourselves this Mind Whip Sliver. Kind of running out of things at the moment, so I think we've gotten the gist, especially for black cards. I'll jump back once we do white cards, but we'll just finish up this Mind Whip Sliver, and we'll see you in a second. Hopping back in here for a red card, we have Magma Sliver, the only old red sliver. I don't think there are any old green slivers. I think they were all too good and just got reprinted again later on. Oh, maybe I was wrong. I know Quicksliver got reprinted. What's Root Sliver's situation? I want to know what this thing is. Some sort of like Mexican or Spanish set. It seems interesting. Like, I don't know. It's probably just like a Google search away, but it's a really interesting not border, but like set symbol, this little bird thing. And I want to know why, like, it's white border, right? So each of these had been printed in this language before. And I don't know. I've just never heard of this set. And like each card has like 2 to 4 different versions of it, except for some of them. I don't know. It looks interesting. It's got some like powerful cards in it, but it's also got some real bad cards like this thing. Oh, I built a feather deck just like every other Commander player, and but I took mine a slightly different direction. I went with what's it called? Spirit and Arcane Tribal, because Feather, her ability, returning the instant or sorcery back to your hand, actually almost makes Spirit and Arcane Tribal viable. Almost. It's not that good, or it's very good. It's just that Spirit and Arcane is like really bad. I really liked what we did with those black ones, so I'm going to try that again, especially with these red ones. Like the blue ones and the white ones, they have this indentation, but the red ones look like they're cut out of stone, and that indentation is really obvious. So if we get rid of that, then we're getting rid of a lot from the magic card. And again, we kind of want to try and preserve that feel as best that we can. Oh, there we go. Look at that. It's just like a regular tiny text box again. And I didn't do the creature type because I forgot. Because Magic is a hard game. Even when we're just proxying cards, it's difficult. And I didn't remove the art from it, so now we have that on a new layer too. That's fun. Really doing it today, guys. Maybe at some point I'll start. I play some Arena. Maybe at some point I'll play that online too. That just feels like the basic thing to do. Everyone and their dog plays Arena. This is something that I haven't seen anybody do. I mean, I've seen people proxy cards. I haven't seen anyone talk about it, or how to do it, or show anyone else the things. So I figured, might as well. There's gotta be a pioneer in every field, even if that field is very dumb. Alright. Go up here. Luckily for us, red gems are relatively common and relatively popular as well. Oh man, this sucks on multiple levels. What the? Oh yeah, not ready for that yet. I forgot. We still have to highlight this little guy. Gosh dang it. Highlight this little guy. Now we can delete it. Whoa, okay there. Just gotta make it as small as I can, just millions of pixels. Okay, cool. It's at this point that it's basically the same. Just gotta know that the cracks of the red are there, and also white cards are relatively easy with their marbling, and green cards, similar story. Again, their big difference is the side. I've done that a little bit. It's mostly just difficult if you're doing translucent, but because of the way that we are, you've seen it a couple of times now, and we'll just wrap it up in a little bit. Alright then, and dropping in just one last time, we've done all of the old bordered slivers that don't have a reprint later. This is a really nice haul. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wonderful. Did all of those. We'll talk to Dakota today about whether he wants the ones that saw Premium Deck Series slivers, wants to see those as old arts, whether he wants them all new or whatnot. Thank you so much for watching. Again, any suggestions, leave them in the comments down below, and check out these guys' artists' actual pages, Twitter in the description. Thank you so much, and enjoy your day.